So now I want to move on and talk about the bridge of rhythm changes. So we've talked about the A section, and now I want to start to talk about the bridge. So there's really a lot of different things you could do over the bridge, and a lot of different ways you could break it down. But I want to talk about two basic things you can do, and really two different variations on each of those. So this will kind of give you like 4 different options to work with for improvising over the bridge on rhythm changes. So most basic thing, which you might have already thought of, or you might already be doing, this might already be what you do, is to use Mixolydian scales. So we have 7 chords. And these could also be thought of as 2/5s. But either way, what I'm going to talk about here is it's the same. It'll work either way. So Mixolydian scale. So Mixolydian scale, it's the 5th mode of a major scale. So you have D Mixolydian, G Mixolydian. Another way to think of a Mixolydian scale is it's like a major scale with a flat 7. And then so that was C, and then here's F Mixolydian. And this is actually kind of how I practice scales. I don't run up and down the scale. I sort of improvise with the scale. And I put some passing tones and enclosures and stuff like that in there as well as I was doing. You hear me do a lot of. So I've done videos on that. So I won't talk about it again now. But so this is the first most basic approach, is using Mixolydian scales to improvise over the bridge of rhythm changes. But so one thing that you may or may not already know about dominant 7 chords is each dominant 7 chord has its equivalent dominant 7 chord. So a D7 dominant 7 chord can be swapped with an A flat dominant 7 chord. Why is that? It's because the 3rd and the 7th of each chord is the same. They become switched. The 7th of a D7 chord is the 3rd of an A flat 7 chord. The 3rd of a D7 chord is the 7th of an A flat 7 chord. So they share those 2 most important notes. They share the most important notes. The other notes are different, but they share the most important notes. And that's why you can always substitute a dominant 7 chord with the dominant 7 chord a tritone away from it. I don't know if that's why it's called a tritone substitution, or if it's called that because they share a tritone. That's that 3rd and 7 is a tritone. Anyway, not important. So wait, what does that mean? It means, well, this is especially easy if you're on the guitar. But so we have we talk about D. Let's say you're starting with D Mixolydian, and then over that G7, instead of playing a G Mixolydian, you can just shift down a half step and play D flat Mixolydian. That's the tritone substitution of the G. And then the next chord would be a C 7. So we could just keep going down a half step, and now we're doing C. So literally you can just shift down half steps, right? Because you go from D7, okay, and then we're doing the tritone of G7, which is D flat 7, and then we're doing C7. Okay, that's how it's written, and then we go down 1 more fret, and that's the tritone away from the F7. So really, what you can do is just slide down by a half step all the way, So just that's like so just when you start thinking about um, Mixolydian scales and you start thinking about this bridge, you have a lot of options when you start thinking about tritone substitutions. And those are just two of them, right? So you can think of it as D7, G7, C7, F7, and just do all those Mixolydian scales, or you can just go down half steps and think D Mixolydian, D flat Mixolydian, C Mixolydian, B Mixolydian. So and any other combination that you can think of, that's fair game too. So that's it for today. Have fun with that, and I will talk about Lydian dominant scales in the next video.